Welcome back into the den. I'm Tobin, here with my fragrance review of the latest fragrance from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. North meets East, basically like Northern culture meets Eastern culture. It's a gourmand. If you're not familiar with gourmands, I'll put a short little description of what one is up there. Has French origins and basically means greedy. It's just think of a fragrance that smells like food and you want to eat it because it smells so good. And they're generally a sweeter fragrance, and that's what this one is. Full disclosure right up front, I did not pay for the soap and splash. They were sent to me for review by Doug and Francis at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Also, full disclosure, in the description you will find affiliate links to their website, and what that is a commission link. I will earn a 10% commission from your purchase. Doesn't cost you any more. Phoenix Artisan gets 90%, I get 10%. This was originally a part of last year's 2023 Phoenix Artisan Advent Calendar. So I have been experiencing this fragrance for close to a year. The wife and daughter, Alexis and Emily, both really enjoy this fragrance. They love gourmands. I like gourmands and have some of my favorite holiday fragrances from Phoenix Artisan, all of them being gourmands, except for Cane really isn't one, Lump of Coal isn't, and Hinoki and Sage. But all these fragrances up here are all fragrances that I would recommend and that I just absolutely love. Cosmic Cookie is absolutely probably our household favorite. In fact, we're about to finish our second and third bottle of it. My wife and daughter decant this one. They give it a 10, and they wear it like they would a perfume. Unfortunately, Doug's never done a full lineup of that. This one has been done in a full lineup. Real quick, before I start lathering up the soap, I've already scooped. I want to show those who may not be aware. So when you first open it up, your soap's going to be totally dark, but where you scoop or as you load it, you'll start to reveal a lighter shade, almost like a white, and that's just from the vanilla content. Could be other things in there that are contributing to it too. I believe it's probably the vanilla. After a few hours, 12 hours or so, depending on whether or not you put your lid on there and how you treat it, it will turn to a dark brown, and that's totally normal and is to be expected. Amazing fragrance. Opens with a comforting sweetness, a rich, velvety, sweet cream scent profile right up there. A rich, velvety, sweet cream. Got my brush soaking here so that I have a wet brush. With that sweet cream, at the same time, you're getting a warm spiciness from the ground nutmeg. Also up there in the top, there's like this light, fresh, delicate green aroma that is coming from that fir needle. And then at the same time, when you really dissect the fragrance, I get like a whisper of the rosemary. It's a herbal, beautiful rosemary, very faint, but it is there. I believe overall it's just contributing to the fragrance as a whole. But I have been able to detect it a few different times while wearing it on the back of my hand, which I have the splash now. Beautiful fragrance. As it develops, notes of incense and a very faint creamy coconut starts to drift up with those notes that are above them. The sweetness of that sweet pine that he has listed there, I believe is how he has it listed in the scent profile. The sweetness of that pine and maple syrup kind of weave their way throughout this fragrance, giving it depth and complexity. The almonds, for me, is like a toasted almond, and I don't know if it's like an actual toasted almond fragrance that they have in it or not. That's just kind of the note that I'm getting, is like a toasted almond that is a sweet, nutty, cozy type of almond, not strong. So if you're not into almond fragrances, you might not even detect the almond. The tonka bean is sweet and comforting. A very, like when you think of vanilla, this is the kind of vanilla that that's the kind of vanilla that you're going to get. It is a rich, warm vanilla. The musk, I think, is just kind of making it masculine. I don't detect a musk fragrance in it, nor does Alexis and Emily. This is an absolute perfect fragrance, though, for this time of year. Doug and Fran created this fragrance themselves, and once again, it is showing just how masterful they really are at crafting fragrances from scratch. This is a fragrance that will remind you of the holidays, of family coming together. It's inviting, it's cozy, it's everything you would want from a gourmand. If you're not familiar with gourmands, I was talking with a friend, Robert, today. It is one that I would recommend starting off with. It is kind of a more masculine gourmand, if you will. Not that I would typically say that a masculine gourmand exists, because that's one of my reservations with gourmands, is that as much as I love these, and if you see my reviews of any of them, you know how much I love them, there's not a lot of occasions that you can wear them outside of the holidays or different things like that, like Cosmic Christmas Cookies. There's times that even in the summer that I will use it, and that's because of how much I enjoy it, but more importantly, how much my wife and daughter enjoys it on me. Alexis gives it a 7. Emily gives it an 8. I would also give it a 7 or an 8. Not my favorite gourmand. Cosmic Christmas Cookies, Space Nog would would definitely supersede this one on that fragrance scale, right? That love scale, but it's fantastic. It is. And so if you're at all intrigued by it, the projection off the tub, the scent strength of the soap itself, I give about a 4 compared to others. Little lighter than medium. When you whip it up, you get that beautiful, perfect CK6 lather that we're all familiar with. And as you can see, it turns a creamy white. And then the splash itself, definitely a good solid 5, maybe even a 6. When it comes to scent strength and projection, this is a fragrance that I would recommend to anyone looking for an inviting, warm, cozy, comforting fragrance that is just going to remind you of the holidays, the holiday season that is quickly approaching. That's going to remind you of time with friends and family, you know, cooking and baking and just hanging out. And, you know, for me, one of the biggest little things in life is the family. And that is one of my absolute favorite things with the holidays is, you know, the kids, they're all grown up now, right? The youngest is 16, but that time spent with the family, you know, like so often when you talk to people, some of their biggest and favorite memories growing up or even watching their kids grow up is the holidays. And this is a fragrance that perfectly captures that feeling. It really, really does. Did I say at the beginning why I do the full disclosure right up front? So before I wrap this up, I do the full disclosure. People have, you know, asked me about it and stuff like that for two reasons. One, because it's the right thing to do. And two, and just as important, it's YouTube policy and it's actually federal law. That basically what I'm doing here, the way the federal government sees it, and because of that is how YouTube sees it, is a form of advertising. And so in advertising, just like if you hear like a car's commercial, a car sale commercial on the radio, at the very end of it, you hear all that liberal, all that jargon that they're trying to spit out really quickly, blah, 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 right? They're trying to get in all that legal stuff. Same reason why I wear a seatbelt. I don't wear a seatbelt because it's the law. I wear a seatbelt because it's smart and it's the right thing to do. And so I feel like doing a full disclosure is the right thing to do because it's letting the viewer know, that I have a dog in the fight, that I have, you know, that I did receive something for free, because I feel like if I pay for something and I still speak well of it, that kind of gives it, I want to say ownership, but I don't know if that's the right word. So anyone who's not doing the full disclosure is actually not following YouTube policy or following federal law. It's one of those things that, just like a seatbelt, it'll probably never come back to bite you, but you never know when it's going to. And so a little big thing is buckle up, cover your rear, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And you never know when you're going to get that email from YouTube saying, hey, you're not being honest. that's my little big thing for you there. Not a Cleveland Indian fan, just a fan of anti-wokeness. Bought this hat, so now I'm going off into the left field. Take care. I'll see you next time.